My girlfriend of 5 years moved in with her gym trainer after a 2-month affair, but when he started dating someone else, she showed up at my door claiming she made a mistake. I, 30 male, never thought I'd be making this kind of post. My girlfriend Tina, 28 female, and I met at a college reunion back in 2019. Our mutual friend Jake introduced us. She was his coworker at a marketing agency, and I was his roommate from college. We hit it off immediately. She was different from anyone I'd dated before, smart, ambitious, and genuinely kind. Within 6 months, we were practically inseparable. We moved in together after 2 years, found a nice apartment close to both our workplaces. Tina was always somewhat into fitness, but nothing extreme, maybe hit the gym twice a week, did yoga at home, went for occasional runs. I actually encouraged it because exercise helped with her anxiety, which she'd struggled with since college. We had a good routine going. I work in finance as an investment analyst, so my hours can be long, but I always made time for us. Tina works as a graphic designer from home, which gave her a flexible schedule. We'd have dinner together most nights, spend weekends exploring the city or hanging out with friends. Everything was great until about 6 months ago. In January, this fancy new gym opened about 10 minutes from our place. Tina was excited about their trial membership offer and signed up. At first, everything seemed normal. She'd go 3 times a week, usually in the evenings. But then it started escalating. 3 times became 4, then 5, then every single day. Now she spends at least 4 hours there daily, sometimes more. She joined their premium membership program, which gives access to special classes and personal training sessions. The changes were gradual but noticeable. She started going around 5 p.m. and wouldn't return until 9 or 10 p.m. some nights. When I mentioned that we barely saw each other anymore, she got defensive. Said I was being controlling and that the gym was her outlet for stress. But how much stress could she have? She works from home, sets her own hours, and we're financially comfortable. Something felt off. Then came all the red flags I tried to ignore. She became extremely protective of her phone, always keeping it face down, taking it everywhere, even to the bathroom. She'd get these notifications and immediately smile at her phone, then act weird if I walked anywhere near her. When I'd ask about her workout routine or gym friends, she'd get vague and change the subject. She even started putting a password on her phone, which she'd never done before. Her behavior around going to the gym changed too. She used to just throw on whatever old t-shirt and leggings she had lying around. Suddenly she was buying all this expensive workout gear, matching sets from Lululemon, new Nike shoes every month, those overpriced Gymshark outfits. She started doing her hair and makeup before going to work out, which made zero sense to me. Then she added morning sessions, said she needed to do cardio in the morning and strength training in the evening. Some days she was barely home except to sleep and work. Our sex life basically disappeared. She was always too tired from working out, needed to get up early for the gym, or had already showered and didn't want to get sweaty again. When I tried to initiate anything, she'd get irritated and say I was pressuring her. This from the same woman who used to jump me as soon as I got home from work. Last week, everything fell apart. She left her phone unlocked when she went to shower, something she never does anymore. I know I shouldn't have looked, but all the signs were there and something felt really wrong. I found hundreds of Instagram DMs between her and some guy named Mike who was supposedly her workout partner. The messages were beyond flirty, lots of heart emojis, inside jokes about their special spots in the gym, comments about how good they looked in their progress pics. There were messages about meeting early before the gym opened and staying late after it closed. Some messages were clearly deleted because conversations jumped around weirdly. When I confronted her, she completely flipped out. Started screaming about invasion of privacy and trust issues. Said I was a controlling asshole who couldn't handle her having male friends. But after about an hour of arguing, she finally broke down and admitted everything. She'd been sleeping with Mike for the past 2 months. He's some hotshot personal trainer at the gym who'd been giving her free sessions. She said I was always working and never had time for her anymore, that Mike understood her and made her feel special. Said she felt guilty but couldn't help the connection they had. The next day while I was at work, she packed some bags and left. She texted saying she was moving in with Mike and that our relationship had been dead for months anyway. Claimed I was too focused on my career and never supported her fitness journey. Said Mike encouraged her goals while I just complained about her gym time. What hurts most is that her family always treated me like their own son. I spent every holiday with them, helped her dad renovate their kitchen last summer, took care of their dogs when they traveled. Her mom called me crying when she found out, saying she was ashamed of Tina's behavior and didn't raise her daughter to be like this. All our mutual friends are in shock. Tina was always the sweet, responsible one in our friend group. She used to judge people who cheated, said she could never understand how someone could betray their partner like that. Now she's posting gym selfies with Mike all over social media like nothing happened, tagging him with heart emojis. Some of our friends saw them together at restaurants even before she moved out. Apparently everyone knew something was up except me. I'm sitting here in our half-empty apartment trying to figure out how 5 years turned into this. Her closet is half empty, bathroom products gone, but all our photos are still up on the walls. I haven't told my family yet because I'm still processing everything myself. Jake, who introduced us, keeps apologizing like it's somehow his fault. I just feel completely blindsided. Never thought the girl I planned to propose to this summer would end up being this person. Update 1. Well, that perfect new life with gym rat Romeo lasted exactly 13 days. My friend Tom, who goes to the same gym but at different times, gave me the full rundown of what happened. Mike apparently dumped Tina last night in the middle of the gym. Tom was there doing his usual evening workout when he heard them arguing near the protein shake bar. Mike was telling Tina she was suffocating him and he needed to focus on his personal training business. According to Tom and a few other gym regulars I've heard from, Tina had been showing up to all of Mike's training sessions with other clients. She'd work out nearby, constantly watching them. If Mike had female clients, she'd hover around their station making comments about proper form or trying to join their conversations. She even complained to gym management about one of Mike's regular clients, claiming the woman was behaving inappropriately during sessions. The woman was apparently a 45-year-old mom of 3 who'd been training with Mike for years. The best part? Tina never actually moved in properly with Mike. She just brought some clothes and basics to his place. Most of her stuff is still in boxes in our apartment. Tom said she'd been telling everyone at the gym she was temporarily staying with Mike while her place was being renovated. Didn't mention having a boyfriend of 5 years at all. She'd been acting like she was this independent woman who just happened to be dating a trainer. Since the breakup, Tina's been on a rampage trying to get information about me. She's called or texted literally every mutual friend we have. Even reached out to my college roommate who she met once 3 years ago. She showed up at my sister Amy's house yesterday crying about how she made the biggest mistake of her life. Amy, who never liked Tina much anyway, she always said Tina seemed fake, told her to get lost. Tina tried to push past her into the house, saying she needed to talk to someone who understood our relationship. Amy had to threaten to call the police. I've been throwing myself into work since everything imploded. Taking on extra projects, staying late, coming in early. My boss Mark noticed the change in my productivity and called me into his office last week. I thought maybe I was overdoing it, but instead he gave me 3 of our biggest client accounts to handle. Turns out the company's owner is retiring next year and looking to transfer ownership to younger partners. Mark said my name came up in several partner meetings, and the owner personally requested me to lead our new international expansion projects. There's serious talk about fast-tracking me to junior partner by end of year. Tina somehow found out about my career progress through mutual friends, probably Jake's girlfriend who works in the same industry. Now she's telling everyone that Mike meant nothing, it was just a stupid fling and she wants to fix things with me. She sent this long email about how the gym attention went to her head but I'm the only one she's ever truly loved. Said she got caught up in the excitement of having a hot trainer pay attention to her but realized it was all superficial. The email was full of excuses. She was feeling insecure about turning 29, worried about our relationship getting stale, stressed about her freelance work. Not one genuine apology in the whole thing. Just lots of me. She even had the nerve to say that this whole experience made her realize how much she wants to marry me. The same woman who was posting couples gym selfies with Mike a week ago. Her mom called again today. Said Tina's been crying nonstop since Mike dumped her, barely eating, talking about having panic attacks. Wanted to know if I'd consider meeting Tina for coffee just to talk. I get that she's trying to support her daughter, but it's not my problem anymore. Tina made her choice when she decided to cheat for 2 months and then move in with the guy. I had already started the process of removing Tina from my life before all this happened. Changed the locks the day she left, packed up all her stuff into boxes, archived our photos on social media. Seeing her true colors made it easier than I expected. The girl I fell in love with 5 years ago would never have behaved like this. Maybe she changed, or maybe I just never really knew her. Either way, I'm not interested in finding out. I haven't responded to anything. Changed the locks on the apartment as soon as she left. Her stuff is packed in boxes in the spare room. She can arrange to get it with a moving company. I don't want to see her. Update 2. Things have gotten pretty wild these past few weeks. Last Saturday around 8 p.m., Tina showed up at our apartment unannounced. She had all her bags with her and was clearly expecting to move back in. She started crying as soon as I opened the door, saying she'd made the biggest mistake of her life and wanted to come home. Turned out she'd heard through the grapevine about my promotion and likely partnership track at work. She came prepared with this whole speech about how the gym thing was just her going through a phase. Said turning 29 made her panic about getting older and Mike made her feel young and desirable again. When I didn't respond, she switched tactics. Started claiming Mike had pursued her aggressively when she was vulnerable because I worked so much. Said he'd manipulated her by offering free training sessions and attention when she was feeling lonely. She tried to minimize everything, saying she never actually moved in with Mike properly, just stayed there a few nights. When I brought up the Instagram posts of them together at his place, she said those were just for show. She even tried to claim they never had sex, it was just flirting and a few kisses. This from the same woman who left me a detailed letter about their relationship when she moved out. Something felt off about her sudden appearance and change of story, so I recorded everything on my phone. Good thing I did, because she's now telling people I cheated first with a coworker named Rachel and that's what drove her to Mike. Rachel is our 50-year-old head of accounting who's been happily married for 25 years. But here's where it gets interesting. Mike actually reached out to me on Instagram yesterday. Sent me a long message apologizing for everything. Apparently Tina had told him we were basically broken up and living as roommates. She said I was emotionally abusive and controlling about her gym time. Mike sent screenshots of their early conversations where Tina was clearly the one pursuing him. She'd asked for his number after the first training session, suggested their early morning meetups, even planned ways to avoid being seen together by other gym members who knew me. The real trigger for her sudden reappearance? Mike's been hanging out with another gym member, some yoga instructor. Tina saw them together last week having coffee at the place near the gym where she and Mike used to go. That's what sparked this whole reconciliation attempt. She's not sorry about cheating, she's just sorry her backup plan failed. Her mom stopped by my office today to plead Tina's case. Said Tina's been crying herself sick, lost weight, can't sleep. Kept saying Tina's not herself lately, that this isn't who she really is. But this is exactly who Tina is, someone who cheated for months, moved in with the guy, and only came crawling back when it didn't work out. The worst part is she's been telling her family I'm being cruel by not giving her a chance to explain. That I'm throwing away 5 years over one mistake. But it wasn't one mistake. It was 2 months of lying, sneaking around, and then leaving me for another guy. She only wants to come back because Mike dumped her and she heard about my promotion. I actually ran into Mike and his new girl at a restaurant last night. He came over to my table and apologized in person, said he had no idea Tina was in a serious relationship when things started. Apparently she'd shown him a completely empty apartment she claimed was hers, said she lived alone. The crazy part is it was probably her friend's place. She has a friend who travels for work and lets people stay there sometimes. Our mutual friends are finally seeing her true colors. She's been trying to get them to convince me to talk to her, but most have blocked her number. Even Jake, who introduced us, told her to stop asking about me. My sister Amy sent me screenshots of desperate messages from Tina begging to know if I'm seeing anyone new. I've moved all her remaining stuff to a storage unit and emailed her the details. She can deal with it herself. I'm done with the drama. Update 3. Had to get a restraining order last week. Tina's behavior crossed from desperate to dangerous. After I moved her stuff to storage, she started showing up at my workplace during lunch hours. She'd sit in the lobby pretending to be a client, trying to catch me when I went out for coffee. My coworkers started warning me when they saw her lurking around. The final straw came when she tried to convince our building security that she still lived in my apartment and had locked herself out. She even showed them old mail with her name on it. Thankfully, I had already provided them with proof that she'd moved out and warned them about her possible attempts to get in. They called the police, but she left before they arrived. Her new story to anyone who'll listen is that I emotionally neglected her and forced her to seek attention elsewhere. She's been messaging my friends saying I worked too much and never made time for her. But I still have all our old text messages showing me constantly trying to plan dates and activities while she was always too busy at the gym. There are dozens of messages of her canceling plans last minute to go work out with Mike. Speaking of Mike, he sent me more screenshots after Tina started harassing his new girlfriend at the gym. Messages where Tina told him I was just her roommate, that we were practically broken up but living together until our lease ended. She'd even sent him pictures of that empty apartment she claimed was hers, talking about how peaceful it was living alone. The company partnership is happening sooner than expected. The owner was impressed with how I handled our international clients during their recent crisis, and they're fast-tracking several of us to junior partner positions. Tina found out through LinkedIn and started telling mutual friends that she supported my career for years and deserves to share in my success. I met someone new through work, an architect named Emma who's designing our new office building. We've been seeing each other for a few weeks. She's completely different from Tina, direct about what she wants, respects boundaries, has her own busy life but makes time for us. No games, no drama, just honest communication. We're taking things slow, but it feels healthy. Tina still tries to contact me through fake social media accounts, usually late at night. She'll make new profiles pretending to be old college friends or potential clients. I just block and ignore. She even made a fake Instagram profile using Emma's photos, trying to trick me into accepting the request. It's honestly pathetic. Her mom called again to apologize for Tina's behavior. Said Tina's telling family she's depressed and needs support, that losing me triggered some kind of breakdown. But they've seen how she acted these past months, the lies, manipulation, showing up uninvited to family events hoping to see me. They're not buying her victim act anymore. The restraining order was finalized yesterday. She can't come within 500 feet of me, my home, or my workplace. Can't contact me through any means, phone, email, social media, or through other people. It feels like I can finally breathe again. My therapist says it's normal to still care about someone who hurt you, but that doesn't mean you have to let them back into your life. Looking back, I'm grateful Tina showed her true colors before we got married or had kids. Sometimes I miss the person I thought she was, but that person never really existed. The woman who could cheat for months, move in with the guy, then try to blame me when it didn't work out, that's who she really is. I've gone completely no contact and it feels peaceful. Life is good, and I'm finally excited about the future again.